There we go. Recording in progress. So like I said, we'll start the first few minutes trying to get our attention and focus on the present moment. So find a seated posture that you can feel supported and at ease in for just a few minutes. I sit cross-legged because I do this a lot and I'm used to it. But if cross-legged doesn't work for you, you can have your legs out in front of you. You can have your knees bent. You can have your feet together and knees wide. You can have one leg out, one knee in, whatever works for you. And yeah, if you want to sit up on a block, sometimes that allows your hips to be a little more open because your knees can fall a little lower. So feel free to make any of those adjustments. And we'll take these first few minutes, like I said, using all of our senses to notice this moment. So if your eyes are open, you can even notice what you see in the room. If you like to close your eyes, you can bring your focus inward. Noticing sounds. I hear other people in the room moving around. There might be smells or tastes that you notice. And then start to notice how your body physically feels. First, just noticing how it feels in the space. Maybe you have a sense of the surface below you where you're being supported, or maybe you can feel the air or your clothing where it touches your skin. And then letting that awareness of your physical body move deeper than the skin and start to notice your body itself. The feeling of your muscles, your bones, your joints, your organs. And when you bring awareness to your body, if you want to, you can make little adjustments, maybe move your position a little bit, get a little more supported, a little more at ease. If you feel any kinks or anything you need to roll out, go ahead. Like I mentioned before we started recording, this is your practice. So you make whatever adjustments or movements or rest that you need to, whatever feels most appropriate for you in that moment. And then start to notice that your body is breathing. And you've been breathing this whole time, something that your body does all on its own automatically. You don't have to think about it. For the next few moments, let's just focus on the breath. Notice how the body feels when it's breathing. Maybe you're aware of your chest and belly as they rise and fall. Maybe you can feel your breath moving past your nostrils or your lips or the back of your throat. Maybe you're aware of the rhythm of your breath or how deep it is. And you don't need to change it, but it may start to change on its own, and you can notice how it changes when you're noticing it. And if your mind wanders off, it's okay. It's our mind's job to think. But if you notice it wandering, see if you can use your senses, use your breath to bring it back to this moment. And you can also take this time to welcome any intention or any goal or what you hope to get out of tonight's practice. And let's all take a big breath. Breathe deeply, fill the lungs up with air from the bottom to the top, front to back, side to side, and let it go. And that felt so good. Feel free to do it again. Inhale deeply in all directions. Exhale, let it go. All right. We are going to do a little bit of movement seated. If you want to change the crossing of your legs, if your legs are crossed, go ahead. If you want to change the way you're seated in any other way, feel free to. I'm going to start some music, but if it gets too loud and you can't hear me, just let me know and I will turn it down. There we go. And let's start with our hands on our knees or on our thighs, just wherever they kind of rest, with your elbows soft. And then as we inhale, let's arch the back, lift the chest. If it feels okay for your neck, you can let your head fall back, or you can keep your chin tucked, drawing shoulder blades together. And then exhale, where we're going to reverse it. Rounding the back, opening up the shoulder blades, looking down at your lap or your belly. You can straighten the elbows, maybe lean back a little bit onto your tailbone. And then inhale, reverse it again, bending the elbows, lifting the chest, maybe hinging forward in the hips a little. So you look up. And then exhale, rounding back. And then I want you to go ahead and do that a few times on your own. So you can go your own rhythm. Yeah, if you need to straighten your legs out, you can do it like this. Just starting to warm up that spine a little. Maybe one more time through. One more inhale, one more exhale. And coming back up tall again. Neutral spine. Let's put one hand, just to our left hand, down on the mat and reach the right arm up and do a little side bend. So you can bend that arm that's down, or you can kind of walk it out and then switch sides. And again, I'm going to let you go back and forth at your own rhythm. So don't worry about which side you're on. Just think about inhaling as you reach up to the middle, and then exhale when you go to the side. See if you can get your movement to connect with your breath. Maybe once more. And then we'll make our way back to center. And then sitting up very tall, thinking about pushing through the base of the spine into the earth, lengthening the head up to the ceiling. Let's raise our arms up, inhale, and turn to the left. And when you can't rotate any further, just drop your arms. So we're not going to use the arms to crank ourselves deeper. They're just there to kind of keep us steady, keep our spine long. That rotation all comes from the muscles around our abdomen and our spine. Inhale, let's come back to center. Reach arms up. Exhale, twist to the other side. And lower down. Inhale, let's come back to center. And release, shake it out. We are going to come out of seated. You can come up to standing any way that works for you. If you want to be super fancy and come into a downward facing dog and walk back, you're welcome to, but it is not required. All right. And I mentioned earlier that we changed our mat so that the long edge was facing me. And I did that because we're going to do something called a moon salutation. So some of you, if you've done yoga before, may have done a sun salutation. And those are almost like yoga burpees. So lots of up and down, lots of up and down. This is a little different because we're going to stay up and we're going to face the other side of our mat. So let's start in mountain pose. So thinking about taking our feet about hips distance apart, toes pointing forward, and finding our balance here before we start moving around. And I like to start with my hips and knees and ankles all aligned, but if that doesn't feel like it supports you in the best way, you can take your feet closer together or further apart. That's just the neutral stance, and then you can adjust from there. But I want you to really think about rooting down through the soles of the feet. Like your feet are the base of the mountain and you're pushing into the earth. through the heels and outside edges and the balls of your feet. And when you really push into the earth, do you feel where the muscles in your legs start to energize? You feel the muscles kind of warming up and doing some work. And then we want to feel that energizing feeling all the way through the body. So the muscles of the legs, the torso, the neck. So it's like you're reaching the top of your head all the way to the sky. So we're pressing down and we're lengthening up. So we're as tall as we can be. And then along with all that energy, I also want us to find and balance that with ease. So let's think about noticing the muscles in our forehead and in between our eyebrows. If you are squinching them together, see if you can maybe wiggle them again a little bit and then let that release. Same thing, if you like to squeeze your jaw together, maybe wiggle the jaw back and forth, yawn a little bit, and then find where you can close your mouth, but just have the teeth barely touching. And then let's check with our shoulders. Let's shrug them up to our ears for just a moment, as high as they go, and then exhale up and drop down. And then we're going to rotate the upper part of our arms so that the belly of our arm, the bicep, faces forward and the palms of the hands face forward. And feel how that opens up the chest and allows the shoulder blades to slide down the back. And then one more thing we're going to do is we're going to check our knees. If they are locked out, we know we don't want to do that. So let's just bend them a tiny bit, just enough that we're not rigid. Our legs are strong, but not rigid. And let's take a couple breaths here. Just notice the difference from when we started. How does this feel? And this is called a moon salutation because as we move through these different poses or postures, it's almost like we're moving through the phases of the moon. So that's kind of what we're mimicking. So this is starting at the new moon. And then inhale, let's reach up. Interlace fingers, pointer fingers to the sky, biceps by the ears, stretching those fingers as high up as we can go. And then exhale into a side bend. This is called crescent moon. So we're starting that cycle. And so we're even, let's come to the middle and do that crescent moon on the other side. Inhale back to the middle. And then let's lower our arms down to shoulder height. And then let's step our feet out wider, almost as wide as where our wrists are, and keep or go ahead and open our toes out. There we go. And we're just going to do a couple squats here. So let's reach up into a big star shape, press through the heels, reach through the fingers, and then exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows like cactus arms, really drawing the shoulder blades together. Our bodies are upright. Inhale, come back up. Big star. Exhale, lower down. Really press to those heels. Inhale, big star. Exhale back into that squat. Inhale one more time, big star. And then let's lower our arms back to shoulder height, palms down. And this foot, my left, your right, we're going to rotate to point right to the front edge of the mat. And then this foot, my right, your left, we're going to point towards the surfboards. There we go. And then keeping both legs straight, let's reach forward as far as we can. And when we can't reach forward anymore, we're just going to drop that hand down to our leg and lift the other arm up. So this is like a triangle. So it's like we're coming into a half moon now. And then let's turn and fold over that front leg. You can use your hands on your leg. If you reach the floor, that's fine. Or here's another chance. If you have that block nearby, you can put your hands on the block. Just try to not lock out that knee. You want to at least have a tiny bend. You can have more of a bend if you want. And now let's all bend that front knee. So we're coming back into a lunge. You can put your hands on the top of your thigh. And let's pivot a little bit off that back heel for just a moment, if you can. Otherwise, you can keep it down. And then we're going to turn the body again back to the front. You can have your hand on your thigh or your forearm, but make sure you can rotate your body. There you go. So this is a side angle. All right, we're about to come into a full moon. Turn this toe out. Both knees bent, and we're in a big, deep squat, taking up a lot of space. And this time we're coming in a squat where we bend over. We can even do a little twist here. Twist one shoulder down, and then the other. All right, so if we started at the new moon, and this is making a big, giant full moon, that means we have to come back to a new moon. So we're going to do everything we just did in the opposite order up the other side. So let's turn this foot towards that wall, turn these toes towards the front, and then come into that side angle. So either on your hand or on your forearm. That's fine, you got it. You could do an extension if you wanted to. And then let's turn into that big lunge. So you have your hands on your thigh, back leg is straight, really press into that back edge of the foot. There you go. All right. And then let's straighten that front knee and fold over that front leg. Just make sure it's not so straight that you have your knee locked out. You at least want to have a tiny bend. All right. Let's walk our hands up a little bit higher. Leave the right hand on the right leg, lift the left hand up, and we come back into that triangle. You're doing great. Cartwheel up, arms are parallel. Let's bring our heels in, toes out. You might bring that stance in just a little bit, and we're going to do that big star again. Reach up, press through the heels. Exhale, squat down. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's press our heels down, reach our arms up, rock them to our sides, bring our feet back to hips distance. Inhale, arms overhead, interlace fingers, crescent moon. We're almost done with this cycle. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, back to center. And let's release back to mountain. Take a breath. All right, you just did a whole moon salutation. But you see how it's like we're moving through the phases of the moon? All right. I want to make sure that we have plenty of time at the end. Yeah, we are good. All right. We're going to do a little practice with our balance while we're still standing up. And then we're going to do a warrior series, and then we're coming back to the mat. So starting again in that mountain posture, let's find our balance here on both feet, just like we did before. Energized legs, energized body, right through the top of the head, pressing down to lift up, but also finding ease, softening the jaw, the knees, opening the chest, finding your breath. And then let's go ahead and start to shift weight to one side. So let's go to the left and pick up the right heel, and we're on the ball of the foot, and then we're going to turn out that right leg. So turn the knee out to the side and then slide the heel just above the other ankle. So this is a tree posture. You can stay here just like this. This is one option, one of many, many options. You could keep your feet where they are and change the hands. Some people like to press hands to heart center. Some people like to be tall like a pine tree with hands overhead. Some people like to be wide like an oak tree. So feel free to try whatever one you'd like. And you can also change the feet. So if you wanted to slide that right foot up the left leg, you can come to the calf. You can come to the thigh. Just try to avoid pressing against the side of the knee. And if you wobble, that's okay. It's part of the challenge. If you have to put your foot down and catch your balance, that's okay. Every time we pull ourselves back into balance, we're getting stronger. Check that standing leg. We don't want to lock out the knee. Make sure you still have just a tiny bend there. All right, one more breath wherever you are. And then let's bring that right foot back down. Maybe give that left leg a little shake, a little love. And then we'll take that to the other side. So whatever side you just did, you'll switch. So I'm going to go to the right this time. So shifting to the right, pick up the left heel, turn it out, slide them together. Feel that support, stay here, or find any of those other options. When you are balancing, there's different things you can try with where you're focusing. You can find a point in front of you that's not moving and let your focus rest there and see how that impacts your balance. You could also close your eyes and find that balance internally. That's a whole other type of challenge. So lots of different things you can try here. You may notice one side is more or less challenging than the other. That's okay. Let's take one more breath. And then let's put that left foot down, shake out that right foot, give it a little love and gratitude. And then we're going to take the feet wide again and come into a warrior stance. So first, let's get our feet maybe a little wider than they were in that last thing. So what I like to do is if my arms are extended, I like to try to get my ankles kind of underneath where my wrists are. So you can adjust from there. If that's too wide for you, you can bring it on. But that's usually where I like to start. And then right now, both my toes, sets of toes, are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. But once again, let's turn my right, your left, so that it faces the wall with the surfboards. And if you look down, you kind of want to have that heel lined up with the instep of your other foot. That's going to help you balance. Because if it's way in front, you're going to feel like you're toppling back, or if it's way in back, you're going to feel like you're falling forward. So if you get that alignment, sometimes that helps. All right, your chest is going to stay facing me. Our shoulders are right over our hips, and we're going to maintain that, and we're going to start to bend this knee. Just into a little side lunge here. You don't have to come super far. In fact, you don't want your knee to go over your ankle, so this is as far as I want you to go, no further. And then let's keep this back leg strong by pressing into the outside edge of that back foot. Really think about rooting that into the earth. And do you feel how that lifts your knee and activates your thigh muscles? All right, let's pick our fingers up, stretch, and then look over your left shoulder towards the wall with the surfboards. This is warrior 2. And then we're going to come into just a little flow here. Let's turn that palm up, the one we're looking at, your left. And keeping our legs steady, we're going to tilt back. So we're going to lift that palm up. And this is called peaceful warrior. And we're going to inhale. And then we're going to exhale and turn the palm down and come back to warrior 2. Palm up, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, back to warrior 2. Great job. Let's give those arms a rest. Maybe shake out those shoulders. Let's straighten this knee, turn the toes back to the front. And we're going to do that on the other side. So let's turn our toes towards this wall. Keeping our shoulders and chest square. Keeping our hips right here in line with our shoulders. Let's bend this knee into that side lunge, watching our knee. And sometimes when our body is rotated this way and our knee is going this way, our knee tries to do this. So take a glance down. If you see it kind of drifting in, use the muscles in your seat and thigh and see if you can get it back in alignment with like that middle toe. Feel that? All right, let's lift the arms up. Look out over our shoulder. And let's do that peaceful warrior series again. Turn the palm up, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale. You got it. Inhale. Really press through that back foot. Yeah, you got it. Exhale. We're gonna do one more of those. Flowing through. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, warrior 2. And lower the arms, straighten the knee, turn our toes to the front, maybe heel toe the feet together and shake it out. And fellas, that's all the standing we're doing. We're back on the mat. All right, ready for that? All right, let's come down. Good. We're not getting up again till the end. You might want to turn to whatever direction allows you to see me the best. So we'll start with our seat on the mat and our knees bent and our feet on the mat, and our feet and our knees are about hips distance apart. Let's bring our hands behind our thighs. Let's do a little bit of core work. So let's inhale, straighten our elbows and lean back with a straight spine. And then exhale, pull our belly button back towards our spine and use that to come back up tall. And let's do that a few times. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, pull the belly in. So we're not pushing it out when we come up, we're pulling it in. And if you feel like that's not enough abdominal challenge, you can release your hands from your thighs. So that's an option too. And using just your core strength to lean back and come up. Let's do one more. Exhale, come back up. And then we're going to kind of reverse this. So we're going to stay here, maybe lean back just a little. And then let's inhale, pick up the right foot, flex the toes back towards your knee. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, left foot. And bend the knee, put your heel back down. Let's do that 2 more times on each side. Inhale and release. Inhale and release. 1 more time each side. Last one. All right. I'm going to give you the choice to either keep alternating or you can pick up both. Your choice. You can keep alternating if you want. 1 more time. There you go. Everyone give yourself a hug. That was good work. All right. So our knees are bent, our feet are on the mat. Let's try to sit up really tall. Not sitting back on our tailbone, but see if you can kind of rock until you're sitting on that bony part of your seat, the bottom of your hips. I know. And then once you're sitting up tall like that, let's start to lengthen the legs. Now, if your legs don't come out all the way straight, that's fine. It's okay to keep the knees bent. But what I want you to do, if you can, is avoid letting the legs fall open. To the best of your ability, see if you can use the muscles surrounding your thighs and your abdomen so that the tops of your thighs, your knees, your shins, and your toes are all pointing up to the ceiling. All right. And we're just going to take a couple breaths here. You can have your hands next to you. You can have them in your lap. You can put them behind you for a little bit of support. Don't forget to breathe. And remember that doing this requires core strength. So if you think about pulling the belly back towards the spine, that's part of where the strength to stay here comes from. So that engagement. So if you do that, do you feel how that changes it? All right, 1 more breath. Release it. You can shake out those legs. I know, that takes a lot of energy. And now we'll do what our legs really wanted to do, which is open up. So we'll let the knees come wide, feet can come together, but it doesn't have to be like that old thing where we bring our heels into there. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it nice and loose. All right. And then we're going to sit up. Again, thinking about sitting on the tops of those sit bones. And then exhale, pull the belly in, and using that core strength, we're going to hinge through our hips and fold forward. And if you want to walk your hands forward, you can bring them to your ankles or to your feet. But again, we're not going to use our hands to pull us forward. All that forward motion is coming from our abdominal muscles. But you could use your hands to give yourself a little massage if you wanted to. You deserve it. All right. Inhale, let's come up. All right, let's bend the knees again, feet on the mat. Might want to scooch until you're about the middle of your mat, because we're gonna lay all the way down. Yeah, we're getting close. We're not quite to nap time, but we're getting there. Nap time is on its way. All right. We're gonna do just a little bit more movement to get ready. So the first thing I want you to do is to walk your heels a little closer to your seat and bring your arms long next to the sides of your body, palms down. Oh, I hear you already yawning over there. The nap is coming soon. All right. I want you to think about pressing through the heels of your feet and using that downward pressure to start to lift your seat up. And then your lower back starts to lift up, maybe the middle part of your back. If you get to your shoulder blades, you can kind of walk them in towards each other. So we're trying to open up through the front of the body to give those hip flexors a stretch, give the chest a little stretch. And then let's bring it down, starting at the top, and then the middle back, and then the lower back, and then finally putting our seat back down. We can take our feet a little wider, and then let our knees fall side to side like windshield wipers. A little gentle twist here. And then let's come back to the middle. We're going to do one more of those elevated bridges. We just did one. We're going to do a second one. So feet come back to hips distance. Arms are at your sides, palms down next to your hips. Let's press through the heels. Use those glutes to lift the front of the body up one vertebrae at a time. See if you can keep your knees and hips and feet all in alignment. That looks good. Excellent. All right. Next, exhale, again, nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, coming back down. Last thing to come to the ground is our seat. And then once the seat's on the ground, we can pull our knees in towards our chest. Hands can be behind the thighs or in front of the shins, giving yourself a little hug. You can stay still, or if you want to give that low back a massage, you can kind of rock side to side or make circles with the knees. All right. If you're rocking or anything, let's go ahead and come back to being still. Bring our hands back behind our thighs if they're not already there. And start to straighten our legs so the soles of our feet are coming up towards the ceiling. Some people call this legs up the wall because you can do it right next to a wall and let the wall support your legs. Some people also call it inverted lake. You can keep your hands there to support your thighs, or you can release them down, whichever feels best for you. You can point and flex your feet or bend and straighten your knees. We're going to be resting very soon. So this is your chance to kind of check in. If there's any little places where your joints just need a little more movement, this is a good time to get it. All right. Let's bend our knees again. Let's lower our left foot down to the mat with a bent knee and cross our right ankle over our left knee. So we're making a figure four with our legs. You can stay here just like this, maybe flex those right toes towards your knee, maybe pressing your right thigh away with your right hand. Or some people like to bring their legs in towards their chest. So if you like that option, feel free to take it. You could even bring your hands around the left thigh and pull the legs in a little closer, or maybe rock them side to side. If that left foot is lifted, let's bring it back down. You can keep the legs crossed. Let the arms come out to the sides, maybe a T shape, palms down, or maybe like cactus arms, palms up. whatever helps you keep your shoulder blades on the mat as you let your legs fall over towards the left. And your legs might come all the way down to the ground. They may not. If you have your block nearby, you can kind of place it there to catch your legs so that they have a little support if they don't come all the way down. If you need to pick up your hip and kind of shift it to one side to come into that rotation, you can. And if you want to take that rotation all the way through your cervical spine, you can turn and look to your right. And then let's come back through the middle and we'll switch sides. Right foot comes down, left ankle goes over right knee. All those options apply here. You could stay here. You can bring the legs closer with movement or with stillness. If that right foot is lifted, let's bring it back down to the mat. Let the arms come out to the sides again. This time the legs go over to the right. And then if you want, you can turn your head to the left. And inhale, let's come back to center. Lower the left foot down. And if you feel like there's anything else you need before you rest, you can go ahead and take care of that right now. And then once you've taken care of that, go ahead and get into a position where you feel like you can rest for about the next 15 minutes. Do you guys want me to dim the lights? Very good. Let me see if I can without going completely pitch black. See if I turn on this hallway light. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So once again, just like with our physical practice, you're going to hear my voice guiding you to try different things. If there's something that I guide you to and it just doesn't seem like the appropriate thing for you in this moment, you don't have to do it. You can let your attention go to wherever it feels most appropriate for you. I promise you cannot do this wrong. Even if your mind wanders off, again, it's okay. It's our mind's job to think. When you hear my voice and you want to come back to where I'm guiding you, you can come back at any time. All right. So start to settle into a posture where you feel supported and at ease. You can make adjustments now or anytime while we're practicing. You need to readjust. You can let your eyes be soft. They can even close if you want to. I do keep my eyes open. So if you need my attention, just give me a little wave. And if you found that you were controlling your breath while we were moving, go ahead and let that control release and allow your body to come back to its natural breath. Check in with what you're experiencing in your body. Just a quick little scan, your jaw, shoulders, arms, torso, legs. If you feel like you can make any little adjustments just to get a little bit more supported, a little bit more at ease, feel free to do that. And during this meditation, see if you can welcome with curiosity and openness every experience that you have, as though it's a message from yourself, here to help you experience health, resilience, well-being, and wholeness. Allow your senses to be open to the environment and the sounds around you. Those sounds can be far away. There's nothing you need to do about them right now. Welcome where the air touches your skin, the feeling of warmth or coolness. The sensation where your body touches the surface that's supporting it. Perhaps the sensation of letting go, being at ease throughout your body and mind. And taking a moment here to welcome your heartfelt mission, or the feeling of life living you with purpose, meaning, and value. And then bring to mind your intention for today's practice. Your intention that supports you to live your heartfelt mission. Perhaps it is to rest and be at ease. Perhaps it's to experience something new with curiosity and openness. Maybe it's to explore a particular emotion, sensation, or thought. Whatever your intention, feel and affirm it with your entire body and mind as though it were already true in this moment. And then let your attention come to what we call your inner resource. And this is the felt sense within your body where you experience the feeling of being secure, strong and at ease, loved and nourished. And if it's helpful, you can imagine a place or a person or some experience that supports you to feel secure and at ease in this moment. Using all of your senses to enhance your experience. Sounds, sights, sensations, smells, and tastes that invite ease and well-being into your entire body and mind. And affirm that you can return to your inner resource whenever you'd like, day or night, during this practice, whenever you feel the need to rest, to restore, and to feel totally secure and at ease. From this sense of ease, begin to welcome sensation as you rotate attention through your body. So as I name each part of the body, simply notice what you experience. You may notice sensation, or you may not notice much of anything. Whatever you experience is perfect, just the way it is. Sensing your mouth. Sensing both ears. Without thinking, sensing nose and nostrils. Left eye, right eye. Both eyes soft and at ease. Welcoming sensations in the forehead, crown of the head, back of the head, neck. Sensing the shoulders. Following sensation down the arms, across the backs of the hands, out to the fingertips. Sensing the palms of the hands. Sensing chest and belly, upper and lower back, entire torso as sensation without thinking, simply experiencing. Alert and awake to sensations in the pelvis and seat, hips, following sensation down the legs, across the tops of the feet, out to the tips of the toes, and sensing the soles of the feet. And sensing now the entire body, the whole body alive with sensation, attention open to sensation and to everything that is present in your awareness. Be aware of the body breathing itself, and the natural flow of air and sensation in the nostrils, throat, chest, belly. And while noting the body breathing itself, beginning to count backward from 7 to 1 like this. Inhaling 7, exhaling 7. Inhaling 6, exhaling 6. And so on with your body's own natural breathing rhythm. And if you count down to 1, or if you lose count, simply start again at 7. Alert, attentive, body breathing itself, sensing and counting from 7 to 1. Alert and attentive. And counting falling away. Sensing all that is now present in awareness. Noticing and welcoming the various sensations, emotions, and thoughts that are present. All these experiences as objects that are coming and going in your awareness.
observing and noting them as they appear and disappear without getting involved. Simply noting and welcoming each experience just as it is. Note how you are the observer of all that's now in your awareness. Awake and aware, observing sensations, emotions, thoughts, observing without trying to change anything. Everything just as it is. And then if it feels right, bring attention to sensations of joy or happiness in your body, or recall a memory of a particular person, animal, place, or circumstance that invites joy or happiness into your body. And experience the feeling of joy or happiness, expanding throughout your entire body. Every cell in your body welcoming its natural feeling of joy and happiness. Perhaps that experience is like an inner smile or a warm glow. However you experience joy or happiness, imagining it radiating from your heart, radiating throughout your entire body. Joy, happiness, and an inner smile radiating throughout your body, face, torso, arms, and legs. Your entire body alive with feeling, joy or happiness. And if it feels right, take a few moments while sensing joy or happiness to welcome in the felt sense of your inner resource, of feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. Note how you are the observer of all that's now present in your awareness. Awake and aware of sensations, emotions, thoughts, joy, observing without trying to change anything. Everything just as it is. Setting aside thinking and allowing yourself as an observer to dissolve into the feeling of simply being. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, just the delightful feeling of being. And rest here, being awareness, feeling your non-separate wholeness with all of life. Awake, aware, at ease. Everything just as it is. Sensing yourself as whole and complete, connected to yourself, to the world around you, to all of life. And as you're resting here, if it feels right, take a few moments to welcome in the felt sense of your inner resource. Feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. And then as you prepare to come back into your evening, feel free to make small movements or stretch, maybe open and close your eyes a few times. I'm going to turn on that hallway light again. But as you're coming back into your evening, still feel that sense of wholeness and affirm again your inner resource of well-being. Your heartfelt mission or that felt sense of life living you with purpose, meaning, and value.
You can take a moment to affirm any intentions that you wish to take with you into your life or into your next practice that support you in realizing and living your heartfelt mission. And affirm the truth that in every moment, you always have within you the resources you need to respond to each situation and circumstance in your life. And our meditation is actually complete now, but feel free to take your time. Again, maybe stretch a little bit to gently press yourself back to a seated posture when you're ready. And then we'll close our practice together before we go the rest of the way through our evening. Might need a nudge here.
Lando.
You need a nudge? All right. Yeah, definitely heard some shifting into sleeping there a little bit. So before we finish up today, let's go ahead and just take a moment to feel one more thing. And that is trying to find a sense of gratitude. And again, if it's helpful, you can think about something that you're grateful for and notice how that makes you feel. And then I want you to take that feeling of gratitude and I want you to send it to yourself for taking time today for your health and wellness. I thank each and every one of you for coming here and practicing with me. Some gratitude to Project SOAR for creating this practice for us and letting us be in this space. I thank you all. Namaste. Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, thank you. All right. And I am going to stop this recording.
I drifted, didn't I? No, I didn't drift.